Another one is narrative, is tonal semantics. And you're often, and this is one of my favorites, and that's just the way we say things. We get that, we change the tone a little bit, change the gestures a little bit so we can deliver that message. I teach 3-hour classes. So if I'm teaching 3 hours and I'm standing there talking to my students, how long do you think they're with me? If I don't change up. I gotta do something. We gotta move here or do there. We gotta go to a different subject. We gotta look at it a different way. I have to change the way I'm talking. Okay? Well, voice becomes our musical instrument. It's just incredible. Someone said they like to hear me speak. I said, well, I don't like to hear myself speak, because when I hear myself speak back, it sounds like my little sister when she was little. But oftentimes we hear the great orators. When we first were introduced to President Obama at that convention, when he told us what's what. Back before, when he was just a little neophyte senator. So the great orators stay with us. How many of us remember Barbara Jordan's speech to the Democratic Convention? Stays with us. Those great orators, they deliver our history, our message. So one time, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said, "Lord, we ain't what we ought to be, and we ain't what we want to be, and we ain't what we gonna be. But thank God we ain't what we was." So I want to leave you with 3 major points. Hopefully I've conveyed a little bit to you about Black Talk. The first thing I want to emphasize in my summation, Black language is powerful and it's diverse. Make use of it. Thank our linguist gymnasts. I mean, they are incredible how they can go on and on. Now, you say you don't like rap? Well, listen to them. Listen how they can manipulate sounds to convey a message. Now, some of us, it's out there, and I don't want to hear it. My grandsons know. I don't want to hear it. But some of it delivers powerful messages. And the way that they can manipulate language is a gift. And we need to encourage that. Encourage it in positive ways, of course. We must educate our children and ourselves and how to use Black language. How to use language. To know what audience is appropriate for which linguistic style. So like I said, don't go up in the store and say, y'all hiring up in here. Or can I get an ad? That's not appropriate for the language. They know what you're talking about, and they may even hand you an application. But when you give it back, you know where it's going. So we have to educate ourselves. I like to shift between registers. I move in and out of different ways because I want to use whatever language I need to make my point at that time. And that's what we need to do to educate ourselves as well as our children. How many times did we hear Imam Muhammad say something one way and come back and say it another way? And then he said it a third way. So by the time he done said it a third way, you should have gotten it. Okay. But that's what we have to do, and he understood that. He understood the power of language. And it's just incredible. I used to listen to him just for the joy. And I had to get back, focus what he said. But just the joy of how he was doing it. And I thought that was just incredible. Wow, it's like a drummer. He was on the case, and I was mesmerized by this man that could use language in that way, the multiple ways. And he understood that we need to do that. He would move in and out of registers. And sometimes he would say, we were. And I've heard him say, we was. And when he said we was, I looked back at him and I said, I know what he's talking about here. He's using that kind of Quranic language where we're moving together as one. And we need to move at once. So I can't say we were, because we're not going individually. We're going together. Okay? So we need to understand, and we got to educate ourselves on how to use Black language. And understand the power of this language. And know that the language Imam Muhammad directed us to is the language of the Quran, which is the light of our lives. Thank you. That's all I have.
Alhamdulillah.
Allahu Akbar.
She's smarter than I am. One other point, I didn't mention, but the key, like Dr. Yassin and many people that we have that are leaders within our community, the people in society, they see the people from Imam W. Muhammad as actually being leaders within the community. My wife at the Government State University, you know that the Muslim Student Association, they can't even practice there unless they come to her and she makes sure that everything is done right. They wouldn't even be at the Government State University if it wasn't for her. Assalamu alaikum. Dr. Yassin said,